insulted.
Okay, we're going to go with that. But spawning on the bottom right-hand corner of the map as the orange Protoss, winning last game's PvP, we have Creative. And his opponent in the top left, we have Millennium Dragon. Dragon, indeed.
Spawning as the Red Terran. Yes, I mean, this is Antigua Shipyard. This is a PvT. Now, some quick things to note. As you probably know, the third is very, very easy to take. We have this Zelnaga Watchtower right in the middle of the map, which will give a decent amount of map control, but you can still kind of sneak your way around it if you're being a little bit sneaky. So it's nice to have, but it's not going to do everything for you. Now, what do you think can come out of this game? I mean, Dragon can go either way. Either he's going to do something ridiculous and awesome, or he can just go for a straight-up macro game and try to take his opponent out, you know?
Well, I guarantee you that Dragon will snipe every observer that's sent across the map. The guy has X-ray vision when it comes to seeing observers. He sees every single one of them.
Yeah, it's not even cloaked. DTs are a joke to him.
Yeah.
He sees it and throws down that scan immediately. Guy's on top of his game.
Need to see if we are live on TL real quick.
All right, so we see a refinery going down for Dragon over on the right-hand side of the screen, and his opponent just getting more probes and pylons, as you'd expect. It looks like he's going to be throwing down that gateway in just a moment. But actually going gas first, kind of an interesting decision. It's not that out of the ordinary. In fact, we can see a barracks go down, and maybe even like a reactor coming up afterward, but this isn't too unreal. In fact, Dragon now just sending out a SCB, grabs that barracks indeed. So standard coming out of these players so far. Nothing too freaky.
Yeah, Dragon is really good with reactor Hellion openers. They've become sort of popular right now with how greedy Protoss players are playing. Just cutting as many corners as they can to get that nexus up. 4 reactor Hellions running into your main base before you're ready for them, and you're going to lose a lot of probes. We saw it a lot yesterday, and we might be seeing it today from Dragon. No second gas just yet. No command center from him, of course. Creative playing pretty standard as well. Now, will he be throwing on the Nexus before the Cybercore? We'll be seeing a standard Cybercore, and there goes the Cybercore.
Yeah, Cybercore goes down, but I mean, I think as a Protoss player, one of the most sinking feelings is when a bunch of Hellions just pop into your base kind of unexpected. You know, not even seeing it coming, and they just get right into that mineral line of yours, and that's probably one of the worst feelings in the entire world. But as you said, the cybernetic score goes down, and it looks like the factory coming down for Dragon, so you might be God. You might be a Magic 8-Ball.
Well, there goes the reactor on the barracks. It will be reactor Hellions. He didn't build the Marine, though, so he can't force this probe out of here. So, Creative's going to know that it's going to be reactor Hellions, more than likely. So he's going to be able to prepare for it. Now, will he be able to? Now, there's 2 ways you can handle this. You can mass a bunch of Stalkers and try and kill them quickly, or you can get sentries out and just pray your force fields are good enough. We'll have to see how Creative wants to handle this. He still hasn't done on that Nexus, though. He's just trying to get out as many units as possible, chrono boosting that warp gate. We might not be seeing an expand from him. We might just see a 4-gate, and that would be smart in this situation. What's a reactor Hellion build going to do against a 4-gate?
Yeah, no, absolutely nothing. I mean, you got the time on the barracks just kind of shifting around. Oh, and it looks like he re-landed the factory in the wrong spot. But now, sure, it will be a refactory, and the barracks goes down as well. But, I mean, that might be the best thing that he can do. And his opponent's really not going to have too much by the way of defenses unless this wall goes up. And then he can kind of hide behind it for a little while, but even then, that would go down very, very quickly. We do see a probe out on the left-hand side of the map over by that 3rd base, so we'll be able to throw down a pylon. He can warp onto that low ground if he'd like to, and it doesn't look like Dragon's going to spot this. He's not sending anything out here at all. But behind us, way back in that smoke, we do see that starport coming down, so it looks like he wanted to do some sort of Hellion drops. But if his Hellions leave his base, he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yep, the Hellions are poking forward, though. Zealot is engaging at Stalker as well. One of those Hellions gets very low. Creative not microing, so it will get away into the main base. And there's nothing here to stop this. Warp gate's not done, so these 2 Hellions are going to get inside. And they're probably going to scout the 4-gate. And we're going to have to see what the decision here from Dragon is. He's going to get this Hellion inside. This scout is so key right now. He sees everything. He's seen all 4 gates, so he knows it's a 4-gate. He has to throw down that bunker right away, or this 4-gate's going to tear him apart.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. These units pushing up his ramp is going to be extremely detrimental to him. We see Dragon setting out the SCV. Throw down the bunker, Dragon. Do it. We see him following up with a couple of Hellions as well, and he only has 1 Rax down, so this is going to be dangerous. Looks like these Hellions are going to be leaving the base, though. Is he actually confident enough to say, I don't need these Hellions back here, I'm just going to go straight for a drop? It does get spotted, and that means that they're going to be coming on back, and here comes Creative. He's going to push on forward, pylon going down on the high ground.
Yep, we see the pylon going down. Stalkers and Zealots moving forward here. Will they be able to break this? SCV's being pulled to repair. Hellions being target fired by these Stalkers. Zealot gets cleaned up pretty quickly here.
And those SCVs are doing nothing. They're just sitting there, finally getting the repair off. But those Hellions are dying very quickly, and they're not picking off the SCV that's building that bunker, which would be the best thing to do. But these units do get in the bunker. There's only 2 Marines, though, and these Hellions just sitting behind the supply depot are doing pretty well for themselves. But as more units come on in, it's going to get harder and harder and harder to hold here. But I think Dragon may have actually done it. He is supply blocked, though. So once this one Banshee comes out and the 2 more Hellions, he's going to have a lot of time before he's able to really make anything else over here.
He's trying to target fire on that bunker. It's getting very low, but will he be able to? Marauder pops out, and this should be it. Getting that Marauder out is going to change everything with this battle. Banshee on the way, like you said, did not research Cloak. Now back home, what is Creative going to do? He's warping in more units. He's expanding behind us. That's the smart decision. Will we see a CC from Dragon as well? Would like to see that sometime soon.
Yeah, I mean, he's able to do that. It looks like he actually just did a supply drop from his command center, which is never something you really want to do. But, I mean, behind this, Creative, he didn't really do enough damage to be able to expand comfortably right now. I mean, he's just going to try to put on this aggression over here to try to pin his opponent into his base, but Dragon has 2 Hellions moving in this way already, and there's nothing back here. I mean, his warp gates might be on cooldown. I'm not really sure right now, but there are a couple Stalkers back here, and they will push away these Hellions. But I mean, really, when it comes down to it, Creative needs to try to keep Dragon in his base for as long as possible, because he does have 4 warp gates to keep on making units, but at this point, taking a Nexus might just be a little bit difficult, though we do see Dragon is going ahead and grabbing the command center of his own.
Hellions coming into the natural. Banshees in the main base as well. We're going to be doing a lot of damage here. Lots of probes have fallen so far. Good control so far from Dragon. He's killed 13 Harvesters with this push, and I mean, that really did well. And yeah, the Banshee got away. 4 kills on. Look at that Harvester count. 30 to 18. Dragon taking a nice lead.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, now Creative's just getting further and further behind. As this game continues, he'll continue getting behind, but it looks like he's going that Twilight Council up, and the question is he going to try to get DTs out? Because that, I mean, one behind Dark Shrine, that might be the last chance that he has over here. He does have quite a few Stalkers down, so he can try to transition into something like Blink, but I'm not sure that it's going to do quite what he wants to. Meanwhile, we have quite a few Stalkers of Creative moving up to this base to try to deny this, this natural for as long as possible.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Blink. I mean, he's already got 9 Stalkers on the field. It could be DTs, but his gas count is very, very low right now. There are a Siege Chick here, just to make it look like it's a 1-1-1, but he already moved the factory off of that the tech lab, getting more Hellions out right now. Stalkers poking forward. The drop was moving across the map. I don't see where it went, though.
I don't see it either. I wasn't looking out for it. But it looks like the natural is up, and I mean, Creative's still just kind of running around with himself. He doesn't really want to commit over here too much, just trying to delay this natural for as long as possible, and maybe he can get back in here. But we see another factory coming down on that tech lab, so he's going to be able to get out either siege tech or really whatever he wants. I mean, now he's in a position where he can kind of do whatever he wants, and now, even though this orbital is up and it's not at the natural, it looks like he's taking a very, very quick third as well. You know, when you're ahead, stay more ahead, so he can continue with this economic lead. But these Stalkers are just dancing around, kind of taking unnecessary damage, poking away where they can, but ultimately they're not going to be able to do that much.
Dragon going to be securing that natural base finally. Love the fact that he got that Raven. He saw how high the Stalker count was earlier. Point defense drone is going to really change things in the beginning of an early engagement. The Twilight Council's finished. Still no upgrades, no forge. Robotics facility halfway done. Looks like Creative really hasn't figured out a transition from this build. I mean, it's very rare that you go, okay, I'm on a 4-gate Terran. He saw an opportunity. He knows he's going up against Dragon. It's a scary situation. But he's just a little bit confused. He's starting to get Blink now. That robot is about to finish, so we should be seeing an Observer coming out very quickly so he can start blinking into the main base for harassing. And I love this decision. We have Dragon going for Blue Flame Hellion.
Yeah, I mean, he's just making the force that he has as strong as possible. He says, you know, I have Hellions out on the field. I might as well use them as part of my main army comp for now, and they're so good at taking back map control. So, I mean, I can get a few Marines out alongside those Hellions, try to kill whatever's on the map, and he could even try to, you know, spot anything kind of sneaky that his opponent might do. Let's say, for some reason, Creative, like, tries to go Warp Preserve or something crazy like that. I mean, he's going to be able to kind of move around the map and see everything. And interestingly, this third base is going over to that northmost position as opposed to this this westmost position where you usually see a natural third come up. And it looks like Dragon's going to be making some supply depots and such over here so that he can kind of block that off so his opponent can't really see what's going on the inside. So very cool play coming out of Dragon. Yeah,
I like hiding bases. Now this Observer will see it, so our Pearls player won't be in the dark. That was the plan for Dragon, was just to hide an expansion, not let his opponent know. More siege tanks being pushed out here. We're actually seeing more factories be added on, so we're seeing Dragon go mech, which I love. We don't see mech near enough in this matchup.
Almost never.
With Heart of the Swarm coming up, I mean, mech's going to be more viable in this match. Now we see Dragon actually has 4 guys and one of his gas in his main base. It's a little bit of a mistake there, but he's also taking a 4th
just mining
base.
more efficiently.
Yeah,
he needs that gas.
Yeah, he needs that so bad. Stalkers do scout the base. Dragon dropping the ...
Saying, yeah, that was definitely a secret, so he's not going to be happy about that, but Blue Flame is done. And these units are going to try to blink away, and I don't even think one's going to be able to get away at this point. Now, that thing definitely going to go down. And with that, Dragon takes back map control. It looks like we have a Warp Prism going over here, 3 Zealots in it, and he's going to spot this base over at the natural third. And, I mean, what's he going to do? Is he going to drop? I mean, all of his opponent's units are over here, and kind of Dragon has full reign right now. Though, Creative trying to follow this up with Double Forge, getting +1 and +1 at the same time, and, you know, trying to find some way to get back into this, because at this point, if we check out that Units tab, we see it's 52 Harvesters to 54, but those Mules definitely swing the economy in favor of Dragon, and so Creative kind of has to do some work to get back towards this.
Well, he's trying to utilize his Warp Prism as much as possible. He's going to be dropping the Zealots into that natural mineral line. Dragon a little bit out of position here. He does see it, though. He's coming back home. How much damage will these Zealots be able to do? They are dropping out. They're target firing these SCVs as much as possible. There are no Mules here, though, so he can't really gun for those. Killing 7 Harvesters so far in this game, but the Blue Flames coming forward, and they're going to devour these Zealots. Warp Prism moving to the main base, but there's already a Viking working on it.
Yeah, now this entire time, Dragon just tried to drop into the main of his opponent and actually got caught by a bunch of Stalkers that were beautifully in position. So, I mean, definitely sucks for Dragon. He can't throw away too many of those over and over again, or else that's going to be how Creative gets back into this. Now we see a total of 14 workers killed for Dragon against the 10 of his opponent throughout the entire game, and the Warp Prism does fall, so no more harassment, and it looks like Dragon's about to get super serious about what's going on, moving his entire map very, very, very aggressively towards the center of the vision.
Unfortunately, Creative hasn't taken this opportunity. He saw fast 4 bases out of Dragon. He should have taken a 3rd of his own. He should have rushed for Colossus or gotten a 2nd Robo and pumped out more Immortals, because this mech push, I don't think he's going to be able to stop it. We have so many Hellions that are going to devour all of the Zealots. We have the Siege Shanks, which are going to devour the Sentries. I mean, there's not really an army here for Creative. Nice Force Fields catching a lot of those Hellions, though, and they're going to get cleaned up pretty quickly. With the Siege Shanks on the low ground, it doesn't even matter. This is just getting devoured. Creative is dropping in supply right now.
Yeah, that's right. Point defense drone goes up just to get those last of those Stalker shots. Tanks are sieged up on this low ground, and a lot did go down, but I mean, those sentries got picked off immediately by all those Hellions that came on forward. Like, those things are, like I said, those are glass, and the Blue Flame pretty much did them in immediately. Now, it looks like the point defense drone is going to get taken out, but that is to be expected, and where does Dragon go from here? I mean, he's up 151 supply to 112. He's doing all right for himself and his opponent's army, though it does have quite a few Immortals in it. It's not going to matter that much unless he catches all of these tanks unsieged and Dragon doesn't micro at all.
Well, even then, if unsieged, deep siege tanks will be more than enough. There's just nothing here. Creative trying to move across the map. Look at these Stalkers just getting devoured. The Immortals falling as well. And with the Zealots falling, there's a GG from Creative. Well played. And Dragon just seizing an opportunity, like, doesn't double expand. He triple expands. And Creative scouted it. He saw everything. He just didn't react properly. And Dragon took a huge lead, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, Creative just he didn't use his units properly. If he was going for that 4-gate, I mean, maybe he should have tried to somehow gotten like a pylon right next to his opponent's base. So with high ground vision, maybe he could have warped onto the high ground, and maybe that would have made a difference in there. But as soon as he went all in, he kind of overextended himself when he realized that his units weren't being used to their full extent, and it got him way, way far behind. But very cool game out of both players, and we will actually see Dragon move on in the tournament.